Hello everyone, myself Om, studying in our Principal's Gurukul. Today I am going to give a short explanation on this chapter, metals and non-metals. Usually in our nature there are 118 elements, metals are 92 in number and non-metals are 20 in number and metalloids are 6 in number. We have learnt about metalloids in our lower standards. What are metalloids? Metalloids are the substances which compose both the properties of metals and non-metals. First, we will see the information about metals and non-metals, then the physical properties of metals and non-metals, and then the exceptional cases of physical properties of metals and non-metals. First, we will go through the information of metals. Metals are generally known as electropositive elements. They produce positive ions and they lose electrons. For example, we will take an example of sodium. The electronic configuration of sodium is 2, 8, 1 and the atomic number of sodium is 11. So here sodium loses one electron and it becomes stable and it completes its octet rule. So we can say that sodium is an electropositive element. The most abundant metal in our earth crust is aluminium and the second most abundant metal in our earth crust is iron. Usually we use metals everywhere in our life, such as in utensils, electrical wires, buses, trucks and etc. Now we will go through the information about non-metals. Non-metals are also known as electronegative elements. Why they are known as electronegative elements? During chemical reactions, they form negative ions and they gain electrons. For example, we will take an example of chlorine. The atomic number of chlorine is 17. Then the electronic configuration of chlorine will be 2, 8, 7. To become stable and to complete its octet rule, it will gain one electron. And then the electronic configuration of chlorine will become 2, 8, 8. So, in this way we can say that chlorine is an electronegative element as it is non-metal. Next point will be, in our earth crust, the most abundant non-metal is oxygen. We can see here that non-metals are less in number than metals, but non-metals also play the most important role in our life. For example, carbon. Our life is sustainable on earth due to carbon compounds. Next, we will go through the physical properties of metals and non-metals. Physical properties of metals. They are malleable, means they can be converted into sheets. They are ductile, means they can be converted into wires. They are sonorous, they can make ringing sounds. They are lustrous, they are shiny. They have high melting and high boiling point, and they are good conductor of heat and electricity. Next, the physical properties of non-metals. Non-metals are not malleable. They are not ductile, they are not lustrous, they are not sonorous. They have low melting and low boiling point and they are bad conductor of heat and electricity. Now, we should go through the exceptional cases of physical properties of metals and non-metals. The first exceptional case will be, usually we see that metals are solid in state, but we have one metal which is liquid at room temperature, that is chlorine. Next exceptional case is that usually non-metals are not lustrous in nature, but we have iodine which is lustrous in nature. Third exceptional case is that we have an allotrope of carbon, that is diamond. It has high melting and high boiling point, but non-metals usually don't have high melting and high boiling point. The fourth exceptional case will be, usually we see metals hard and strong, but we have sodium and potassium which are soft in nature and they have low densities and low boiling points. So in this way we have completed information about metals and non-metals, physical properties and the exceptional cases of physical properties of metals and non-metals. I would like to thank our principal sir who has given me this opportunity to explain a beautiful topic, metals and non-metals. Thank you.